Japanese media fears war with China next year. The game of chicken between two great superpowers is about to begin. Over on Infowars.com, we got an article by Paul Joseph Watson written today, and it was, as many of you guys know, that the United States and Japan and China have been going through some issues when it comes to zoning. So let's go ahead and go through with this article and see what's going on, because this could evidently be the start of World War III, and I think it's very important for us all. All right, Japanese media outlets have been feverishly dreaming up scenarios of war with China as soon as next year, in response to Beijing's imposition of an air defense zone over the disputed Senkaku Islands. As the Japan Times notes, 5 out of 9 weekly magazines that went on sale last Monday and Tuesday contained scenarios that raised the possibility of a shooting war. The Sunday Mainichi ran an article entitled Sino-Japanese War to Break Out in January, which speculated that a worsening Chinese economy and a real estate crash may provoke Beijing to stage an incident, accidentally on purpose, which could take the form of a civilian airliner being forced to land and the passengers held hostage. Well, that's some serious shit. Ultimately, it sounds like this is either going to lead into a false flag or possibly a real event that leads into this war. And anytime you got something that's known like this in advance, even details like that, it's got to be considered kind of a false flag, So will this happen? If Japan and China go to war, we're obviously siding with Japan, believe it or not, and this could be a real issue. Another scenario revolves around China targeting oil supertankers bound for Japan. If China were to target them, nothing could be worse to contemplate, wrote author Osamu Iya. Shukan Gandhi, a weekly magazine sold by the largest publishing house in Japan, even speculated that Chinese President Xi Jinping could order the shoot-down of Japanese civilian airliner, prompting a response from the United States that could lead to a fighter jet battle. This China war, looming with even the U.S. and China. This is the big show. This is the main event. We talk about a lot of people out there that could have weapons and could be big, could be a problem to go to war with. But I think ultimately China has been that one country we've always feared in terms of going to war with. I do think a war with China would be horrible. But at the same time, it'll give us a chance to get out of our debt. Because if we just say, fuck you and your debt, since we're going to war, that could be very profitable for the United States of America, especially if we win the war, which there is a big if there. All right. Unlike Japan, the U.S. military would immediately respond to a radar lock-on threat by shooting down the Chinese planes, asserts military analyst Mitsuhiro Sira. It would naturally regard an aircraft flying overhead as hostile. They would shoot at it even if that were to risk discrediting the Obama administration. According to Saburo Takai, writing for Flash, China is intent on reclaiming the Senkaku Islands, by force if necessary, but still fears a military confrontation with the United States, a concern emphasized by Beijing's failure to respond to America's provocative B-52 bomber incursion of the air defense zone last month. That's right. We went there. We was ready. We was fucking with them. We came on your turf. China didn't want none. They were scared. The game of chicken between two great superpowers is about to begin, concludes the Japan Times. As we have also highlighted, Beijing's cheerleading for its military advances has become noticeably more bellicose in recent weeks, with state media outlets bragging of how China plans to turn the moon into a Death Star from which missiles could be launched towards any target on Earth. We can't let that happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but we can't let that happen under any circumstance. The official news website of the People's Liberation Army, the PLO, also recently touted the prowess of China's newly formed aircraft carrier Combat Task Force, boasting that it is close to rivaling the U.S. Navy. You motherfuckers better chill, because if with all these threatening situations, I'm telling you, it could get ugly. In October, Chinese state-run media in China, of course, just like we have here, released a map showing the locations of major U.S. cities and how they would be impacted by a nuclear attack launched from the PLA Strategic Submarine Force. See, they're already talking about it. They think they're going to nuke us. And this may be a false flag. This may actually happen. And we need to wake the fuck up. Because if this happens, this could be what's explained as the reason for our crash of the dollar, our collapse of the dollar, and our eventual World War III. This could be the end of America, folks. And I'm not fear-mongering because I think we're the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. But at the end of the day, it's not really China or America that's in charge here. It's the global elite. It's the bankers. And if they're trying to take away our sovereignty, which it's obvious they're trying to do, period. This is the best way to try it. This is the best way to move forward. Let's see what they do. Although a shooting war between China and Japan remains unlikely, respected observers like Ambrose Evans Pritchard have warned that the escalating crisis represents a watershed moment for the world and means Asia is on the cusp of a full-blown arms race. Wow. A full-blown arms race between two major superpowers who are on the verge of conflict over a fiercely fought territorial dispute. That's somewhat more weighty than the assassination of relatively obscure Austrian Archduke. And we all know what that led to. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to go down. And this is my take, and you can take it. It's just my opinion now. I do think this will lead to World War III, and a lot of us have questioned, was it Iran, was it Syria, what was going to lead to it? But the truth of it is the more obvious something looks, sometimes that ain't always it. But then again, sometimes it is hidden right in plain sight. And the truth of it is, we've always worried about the China issue. We've always worried about the potential of a war with China and the United States of America. And now it's right here. It's facing us. What are we going to do? Well, the answer is to get this bum out of the White House and start working on our universal relationships a little bit deeper. You know what I mean? A little bit more. Maybe we should stop trying to bully people and actually engage in a relationship. But that's not how America works. It's not how it's going to work. And ultimately, this war's coming. So, will it happen in 2014? I don't know. I honestly don't. But in the end, this is the worst case scenario for us. So, will the Republic survive? I'd love to know y'all's opinion, y'all's thoughts. Feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, like, whatever you got to do. But holla at me. This is big. Good article by Paul Joseph Watson, no doubt about it. Anyway, I'm King Gunner for Kingdom of Truth. We out of here.